Hi, welcome. Today we will pay our tribute to Jeremy Silman. Who was him? Well, Jeremy Silman was a chess author, a composer, teacher, coach, and one of the most influential persons in the chess community. So, before start, did you know that almost 87% isn't subscribed? Please subscribe. Help me reach a wider audience and help me put more content to help you improve. This is my goal. Help you to reach a higher level. And with that, I will want to improve my level too. So please subscribe today and, of course, help me help you. So let's continue. So, about Jeremy Silman, he was a very important person. So, about his biography, so he has passed away on the last 21st of September, and he began playing at 12. He won the American US Open, the Nationals. He was coach for several years of the junior national team. He was an international master. In my opinion, he doesn't become grandmaster because he retired from competitions. We will analyze two games of him today. So he wrote over 35 books and articles. He was a composer of chess.com. He have written several articles for the newspaper New in Chess. So he has been a consultant of several TV shows, of course, always on the chess area. So this guy was quite influential on this chess community. And that's the reason today we will talk about him. And because in one of his books, very, very important, how to reassess your chess, he has given some advices, and we will talk about that here after this first analysis. It's very important. It teaches you how to think, how to plan, and this is important because you evolve your strategic play. So in this game, Jeremy Silman has played with black, and his opponent was from Philippines, Rosendo Balinas. So this game has been played at 1979, and it started with the English opening. So this continued with c5. Okay, normal. And after knight, here black plays d5. So the idea is to have pressure on the central, and we will start the battle. So this continued with c takes. It's the best move in my opinion. And after knight takes, here g3 as the goal to develop the bishop to g2. So this continued with g6, and after bishop, white will castle and black will castle too. So for now, everything is normal. Nothing strange happening. So here, white will continue with queen to b3. Important. This white player is strong. So he was an international master with almost 2400, so he is strong. And about Jeremy Silman, on those days, he was 2370 of rating. His peak rating has been on 1995, and he reached 2420 of rating. So he was very strong. And here we need to evaluate the position and decide what will we do. Of course, this knight is being attacked by two pieces. And, well, if he played the pawn, this bishop would be on a strange position, because this is a bad bishop, because he's behind the pawns. So here he played knight to c7. Interesting, because he doesn't want to have problems on his game. And after d3, normal move, he will continue with knight c6, developing the knight. And after knight to a4, this is already strange, because the white player is lateralizing the knight. So normally you don't want to do this kind of moves. And I like a lot this game, because Jeremy Silman was a great positional player. And I think this is one of the reasons he was a great chess author, because he coached on his books how to improve the positional play. Don't forget, if you want to read something from him, how to reassess your chess, it's a great book, okay? So here, he continued with b6. It's a courageous move, because, of course, the bishop is on this diagonal. So, but the thing is that, imagine, if this knight plays to e5, I can just take, and if bishop takes, the knight is protecting the rook. So I won one pawn, so I don't need to be worried about for now. So here, Rosendo has played bishop g5. It's a very active square for this bishop. He wants to create pressure on e7. And, well, here, Jeremy Silman is already better. It's a slight advantage, not very much, but it's interesting the way he will continue this game. So he will develop first the bishop, and he isn't worried about the knight and the rook. Very interesting, because, for example, talking about me, when I play, normally, if I was playing black's position, I would be completely paranoid, because I would be overlooking the bishop on g2 and thinking, oh my god, this bishop will break everything. And no, that's not true. We need to evaluate all the positions, and we need to know how to think. So don't go away, because after this game, I will show you how to think. So let's continue. Bishop, and then after rook to e1, this will continue with knight e6. The idea is to control this square. Great stuff, because I have a knight, two knights, and a bishop. Great stuff. And my bishop is a good piece too. So, fantastic. Here, the white player has played the bishop. Of course, I haven't told, but the knight was attacking the bishop, of course. And after bishop takes, pawn takes, important, because if bishop takes, I can just play knight, and if this bishop takes, I can take with the knight, because I'm attacking the queen, and the bishop cannot take the rook. And after, I will take the bishop, and I will break the pawn structure. One important concept about the strategic play: you want to see the pawn structures. So let's go back, and here Rosendo Balinas is already worst, because his pawn position is terrible. Double pawns, not good. This pawn is weak, and, well, the column is, the file, sorry, is open, so we can and we will create pressure on this file. So this continued with knight, of course, it's kind of obvious move, and after queen goes to d1, it's quite simple. White is putting the pieces on the initial squares, because, okay, he wants to begin a new game. I'm joking, of course, but the game is terrible for white. So this continued with knight to b4, threatening to give this double and creating pressure on the t3 square. So this continued, the game is already finishing. This continued with a3, and after knight takes d3, beautiful, beautiful stuff, because if queen takes, knight takes pawn, I'm going to show, and I win the queen. And even if bishop takes, queen takes, bishop takes, rook takes, this position is one for black because I won 3 full points. So this is one. So here, of course, Rosendo has taken the knight, and after bishop takes, always threatening the same thing, is increasing the pressure on the f2 square. So he has the knight, he has the bishop, and this is a nightmare for white. So this continued with rook, and after pawn advances to force the knight to go to elsewhere. Here, knight goes to c, and now another beautiful move, knight takes b2. Why is that beautiful? Simple, because if rook takes, I just take and I will win more material. So, are you seeing this level? Jeremy Silman was a great player. He has continued as a coach, but he was a great coach too. And he was a great author too. So, incredible stuff. We will see next the precision too. So, here, white continued with queen c2, but this game is already won for black. So let's see the last moves. Knight to a4, increasing the pressure on the knight and winning material. And after knight takes b5, of course, bishop takes, queen takes, and a6 finishes the game. So why, as white resigned? Simple. The knight doesn't have any square. And if, well, he advances the pawn to attack the rook. Here it's quite simple because pawn takes, and even if queen takes, bishop takes, rook takes, we are winning by 4 full points. So this is completely won for black. So incredible stuff here. In my opinion, Jeremy Silman has played like a monster. So he was very, very, very strong. So let's see the precision. I don't know if you enjoyed this game. Tell me on the comments, okay? Because, well, for an international master, normally is a strong player, but Stillman for me was stronger than that. So let's see the precision. So, well, it's completely crazy because he was very strong. So let's see. I opened the analysis. Let's open the feedback and let's see the evaluation. And well, Silman has played with 96%. So we are talking about a game with 2 brilliant moves. First one, knight takes on d3. Second one, knight takes on b2 on the same game. And with evaluation of 2,900 points. So this is a very strong game. So I don't know, but when I grow up, I want to be on chess a person like Jeremy Silman. He has so many work in this area. A great repetition, yeah. Sorry, it's the accent, and his value, his level is very high. So I want to show you a second game because I think he deserves this analysis, because the second game for me it is even better than the first. So in this game, Silman has played with Dumitru Grisdavu. I hope the accent is correct. It isn't easy to say this name. So this guy was Romanian with double nationality, North American from USA. And the game has been played at 1975. So in this game, Silman is playing with white and Balinas with black. But before that, How do we think on a chess game? Jeremy Silman has told on his book How to Reassess Your Chess 5 points. Very interesting, and normally I work that with my coach. So, first point, when you want to think on your positions, see the imbalances. On the queen side, king side, look very well for the imbalances. Second point, you need to decide on which side of the board you will play. For example, you want to look at the pawn structure. If the pawn structure is pointing to the king, probably you're going to play on the king side. If is pointing to the queen, you will attack on the queen side. Third point, don't calculate. This point is so important. Don't calculate. Dream. Imagine. What do you want to do? Where do you want to put your pieces? Be optimist. You want to dream on your games. You want to be creative. This is so important. Fourth point. If your dream is possible, you can play it. If it isn't possible, you will need to dream about another solution. It makes sense, yeah? And finally, fifth point, you calculate and you do the candidate moves. This is the fifth point, not the first or second. First, you need to do step by step all these points to organize your thinking, and then you play. So now that you know how to play, we will see this brilliant game by Jeremy Silman, but playing with white. So in this game, he played e4, of course, the best first move ever. I'm joking, but yeah, I play e4 and d4 too. So, and here Dumitru has played c5. After c3, here we are seeing a Lapin variation. So this continued with d5, takes, and after d4, takes. This line is very well played. I enjoyed a lot the way as Jeremy Silman has played, because after knight, and after e5, one of the most aggressive answers, here he will play knight c3, bishop, creates pressure on the knight, and after that he will continue with bishop d2. This is all theoretical. So this continued with bishop takes, and after bishop takes, now pawn advances. Theory again. So here he advances the knight, and now this game will start becoming interesting. So here black has taken, and the position is equal. After pawn takes, of course, here he developed the knight, because, of course, if queen takes, rook takes, and the rook is centralized, so it's not a great idea. He won't lose the game because of that, but it isn't very ambitious. So here he has played knight to e7, and after queen check bishop, he will continue with queen to a3. This positional move is quite interesting, because imagine if he castles here, he loses the knight, so that's not a good idea. So queen to a3 is an interesting idea, because is maintaining the initiative for white. You don't know what is the initiative. Oh, time to learn. We have material about that. So here, the black player has continued with queen to e6. And after that, queen b4 creates pressure on b7. So, again, black needs to answer. So here, he played knight to d5 to create some problems, because he is attacking the queen and the bishop. And after queen takes, look at the positional play. He is attacking the rook, but the thing is that his opponent believes that this is completely playable, and the computers agree with him. So this is a playable position. But the thing is that Jeremy Silman was a strong positional player because he will continue with bishop c4, an excellent move. And after bishop to c6, if you want, you can put on pause because this position is very interesting. Here, it's okay. You have two ideas. One is to play queen to a6, and the other is to play to b3. In my opinion, Silman played the easier move. Sorry, he has played, just a second, queen to a6. The idea is that this bishop now cannot go anywhere. So this continued with rook to c8, and after castle kingside, queen goes to g4. I've put in the comments just to show you we haven't seen any mistake for white. And here Silman had 2,383 points, and Dumitru Grisdavu had 2,415 points. His opponent was stronger. Was he? I don't know. I'm not sure. So this continued with bishop takes, and after queen takes a7, here Jeremy is winning by 2 full points. And the thing is that he is winning by 2 full points, and these 2 full points are 2 passed pawns. So this is already much easier for white to play. So this continued with rook, and after pawn to attack the queen will go to f5, and after queen to e3, rook creates pressure on the g2 square. So the idea is that, of course, if I take my queen, he will take, because the queen is the only defender of this pawn on h3. So this continued with one move that finished the game. What would you play? Here, white is always winning, but here Jeremy Silman has made a very aggressive move. a3, and black has resigned. Because, okay, he doesn't have nothing. For example, this could be, this is the suggestion of chess.com. This could have continued with bishop b3, rook, and the thing is that he won another pawn. So this is terrible for black, and black cannot do nothing because white has the center, white has the initiative, and black doesn't, very important, black doesn't have counterplay. So this was an easy win by Jeremy Silman. So what about the precision? What do you think? This, for me, is a proof that Jeremy Silman could be a grandmaster if he wanted to. But the thing is that he doesn't want to be a grandmaster. He wanted to help persons to reach their goals. This is nice, beautiful. So here, let's see, in this game, he has played with a precision of 98%. This is very high. So we are talking about a game without blunders, misses, mistakes, or inaccuracies. So it's very, very high. And his opponent hasn't played badly. He played with 91%. So we are talking about a 3,100 rating estimated value. So this is a very strong game. So about Jeremy Silman, we have seen that this guy changed the chess how we see. He helped a lot of beginners and intermediate players to reach a higher level. And I am one of these players. I believe I am one intermediate player. And when I was young, I started by reading how to reassess your chess. So, Jeremy Silman, thank you so much for your help. So, have a good night until tomorrow. Bye bye.